We keep talking about the recent trend of meta films in Tamil cinema. So here's another one, Idhu Namma Aalu, directed by Pandiraj. Simbu plays Siva, a young man who's had breakups in the past and is looking to settle down with Maila, who's played by Nayanthara, who some years ago broke up with Simbu in real life. Normally, this sort of detail would be irrelevant, right? In the sense that the film should work based on what the actors are playing on screen and not what they did or did not do in life. But Idhu Namma Aalu wants us to blur the film and real life divide. Shiva invites us to remember Simbu when he says, Yellaru your lover vechu comedy pandringa. So the film is a love story of a couple that gets together through an arranged marriage setup. Pandiraj captures the natural moments that occur in such a situation. The getting to know you part, the does she have a past part, the hours and hours on the phone part. He's trying to make a young and cool film. When Shiva talks about his ex Pooja, played by Andrea Jeremiah, a corner of the screen displays the text flashback loading along with the icon of a battery-like device that shows that this flashback is actually being loaded. A lot of this works fairly well. The dialogues are simple and fun, and Suri is a riot. He delivers a running commentary about the love story. But he also prevents the film from becoming more than just an entertainer. When Mani Ratnam or Gautam Menon do the upper-class urban romance, the film makes you smile and wins, and it brings back personal memories. In other words, they make love stories that are real and become references for a certain kind of movie love. Pandiraj, on the other hand, just wants the audiences to be entertained, and that's not a bad thing. But the problem is, the relative realness of the Shiva Maila portions is compromised by the very cinematic and contrived things like Suri hiring a detective to check up on Maila or the in-laws getting into a fight after a drink. After a while, you get the feeling that the director is throwing these things at us simply because he did not know how else to bring about conflict. What's worse is that these conflicts are resolved very simplistically. But Simpu and Nayanthara are in good form and they keep us watching. Idhu Namma Aalu is proof that when the leads are well cast, they can make you overlook a lot of sins. If Idhu Namma Aalu is a feel-good love story, the second film this week, Uriyadi, is the exact opposite. The story begins with four youngsters in an engineering college in Trichy. At first, they seem to be fairly typical boys. They smoke and they drink and they celebrate birthdays by smooshing cake on the face. But then we see there's a bit of social conscience in them. When an old man is denied entry into a hotel, they stand up for him. When a girl is teased on a bus, one of them beats up the guy. What's refreshing about first-time director Vijay Kumar is that he doesn't glamorize these guys. He doesn't make them saints. He doesn't make them heroes. He doesn't even make them vigilante heroes. They're just boys who have the guts to fight back. And two of these fights are superbly choreographed. In our usual action scenes, you see the choreography, but here you see the chaos. You see people scrambling, you see them slipping and falling, not just a set of perfectly executed punches. Things take a political turn when a caste-based outfit decides to erect a statue for its leader. Vijay Kumar shows us, even if not in great detail, how these small outfits gather people on the basis of caste and finally form a party whose only mission is to represent that particular caste. The film shows what happens when the four boys get mixed up with the wrong kind of people. Uriyadi is a refreshingly adult film. It depicts drug use and brutal violence, and the storytelling is adult too, using flashbacks and flash forwards. In other words, there is no spoon feeding. There are some rough edges, both in the making and in the performances by a bunch of newcomers, which I suspect is more an issue of the budget. And some of the plot points seem rushed through. But to compensate, there's texture and a lot of detailing. When a man is beaten up, he isn't just wearing fake blood. He finds it difficult to speak because his mouth is swollen. This kind of thing says a lot about the sensibilities of the director. Uriyadi isn't just something you say good things about because it's from a first-time filmmaker. It's a solid, gritty little film.